Yes, sir, baby, on the Radar Radio. Yo, very special guest in the building. She got some back-to-back shows here in NYC. The one, the only Flo Milli is here.
What's tea?
What's up?
What's good?
Welcome to the show.
Here.
I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. I love shows like this.
Like this?
Yeah, like video interviews. I don't do those a lot. So.
Really? I feel like I've been seeing you do a lot of interviews lately. Well,
really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Lotto one. That was y'all together.
That was one of my kind of like first artist-to-artist interviews. Other than Holly Berry, but she's not an artist.
Right, other than Holly. Not an artist, but you know, they're there. But, so you don't really do a lot of these? I feel like I've seen you do a bunch of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me where, because I want to see them, because I literally...
Do you just feel like you just don't get to do them a lot, or?
I feel like when the pandemic started, like, all the interviews I had lined up, like, it was such a gap from there. Like, I don't feel like I did a lot. I might have done some that I might forgot about, but I can't recall, like, a lot of I've done.
Because even, like, during the pandemic, when things, like, really were, like, revving up, it was just, like, I'm sure you probably, obviously, couldn't do a lot of in-person stuff, so you probably just did a lot of...
Zoom. It was Zoom, for sure.
So you kind of missed that, like, whole...
Definitely. Like, I missed that whole wave. Even shows, like, a lot of shows got canceled for, like, a year and a half, and, like, it was just the internet. I think I even did a fucking show on live.
Oh, what, like on IG Live, or was it kind of like a Twitch live stream thing?
It was like on IG Live. I would never do it again, but it's very embarrassing.
We talk about, it's funny because like I keep having conversations about like back then, because like it's just like, you know, as these shows are happening more now, like a lot of artists who I met on Zoom back then are now coming to the city for their own shows, and it's like weird because it's like we talk about at the time, because at the time we were like, oh yeah, this is like great. It's like we do our interview and then we both get to go do whatever we want. We don't even have to commute. We don't got to go nowhere. But like it also like now it's kind of like being back in person. Like it's kind of like you miss like this.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, like you said, because it's like we got so used to everything being so like technical and like through the phone or whatever. So yeah, I knew that was gonna happen though from the pandemic, which is why I was like freaking out in the middle of it, because I'm like, oh my God, how long is this gonna last? Like, I don't want us to get used to this way of living, because like I'm such a like I want to get up and do stuff. I don't like being in that mentality of like just waiting.
Just staying still.
Yeah.
And I think like during that time, like you talk about like doing like the IG Live performances, like I get it. It's funny because I think about like some of the stuff like our radio station had to do during that time, and I think back, I'm like, why the hell did we do that? Like that what like at the time it was like, oh yeah, this is a cool idea, but at the same time it was like, damn, like we really did something like that. But I guess it's just like now, because like the world is like semi back to normal, open and shit like that. Now it looks dumb.
Yeah, it definitely looks dumb. But in the time, I think
genius.
Yeah.
Like IG Lives. Like I remember people kept talking about how like important IG Lives were to the future of everything, and
it's so not. Nobody even goes live anymore. For real.
Right. Like I don't understand. I didn't understand at the time, but people were like, oh, watch, your live stats are gonna become important to getting brand deals later on, all this and that. And then like once everything started to open back up, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of cool off that.
Yeah, because I think we used it as like a survival thing, because like that's all we had at the moment was the internet. Everything was closed down. We was locked down. So of course at the time it was way important, but like now people are like, you got to put that work in, especially as a new artist. I feel like just like we got pandemic babies, we got like pandemic artists. But like, you know, people who bloomed in that time or like surged through that time. And it's like all the things you were doing for survival then, it's like it's not going to work now because the world is constantly changing. So it's like that's probably why that shit feels weird or dumb to us that we did. You know?
Yeah, and then even now where it's like every couple months there's like because like media loves to be like, oh, this is the new next pandemic. Like with the monkeypox shit. It was like monkeypox came and I mean, it's still around. Like people are still getting it, but like they hyped it up that like everybody about to get monkeypox.
About to get it, yeah. No, that shit scared me though. I was like, that one? I don't know about that one. I was still scared. But I'm like shocked that people are really getting it. I don't even want to speak that shit into existence. But yeah. You get
accident. You watch like one of the videos about it, and then you end up on monkeypox TikTok.
Yeah,
and then
it's like 10 videos, and I'm like, yo.
I kind of I have a love-hate relationship with the TikTok algorithm too.
For sure.
Because like I watch one video of like something that I'm not really interested in, but it's like piqued my curiosity, and then now I'm fucking.
You know what I learned though? They actually pay attention to what you watching like the most. Like if you stay on the video for like more than like 10 seconds. I heard something like that, but they're like watching like your reactions and all that. Cause I used to be like, who the fuck is watching me? Cause I would like say something or like I'll watch a video and then like multiple videos about that same topic will pop up. But yeah, like
I think it's creepy because I even used to know when I would watch things on certain days. So like if like I was watching like the Star Wars show, like The Mandalorian, they would know like every Thursday to feed me Mandalorian videos.
Right.
And I'm like, this is kind of tight. But then also like it's like you think about it, it's like the same type of when you're talking about and watch this happen to me later now. I'd be like, I need a new speaker for my studio.
Right.
And the next thing I know, I'm gonna get B&H ads.
Speakers,
on
like
my
that
Safari
ass.
later.
Yeah. Another thing I just learned about TikTok is like people can tell when you save their videos.
Yeah, that's
that
the thing now.
shit is so crazy. Like, I didn't know that. I be saving everybody's shit.
Really?
Yeah. So it's probably like a lot of people like, oh, Milli saved my shit. Because I definitely be like, wow. Like, I be learning a lot on TikTok, and I just save everything.
Yeah, like a new notification that pops up. It'll be like Flo Milli has added your. I think I don't know if there's a difference between bookmarking it or I don't know, but it'll say like Flo Milli has saved your videos to her favorites now. And I feel like there's gonna be one person that's gonna be like, I don't know why Flo Milli saved this video, and then it's gonna go viral on Twitter. And everyone's gonna be like, why would you do this? But you were probably just bored and it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, like dead ass. That's me.
But also at the same time, like at least with you and your career, like TikTok has played such a huge part in like the early days of it too. Like so at the same time, it's like take the good with the bad of it at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely look at it like that. I don't take the bad with it because I feel like everybody be on TikTok. To me, TikTok is like popular. Like that's the app. Even though you can still find like negative stuff on there, that's at least the app I feel like people are having the most fun on right now versus like everything else.
You don't think they're having that much fun on Twitter?
Twitter, yeah. I will say Twitter, yeah, but Twitter is ruthless. Like that's for like people who just wanna be like negative all the time, or like not all the time, but just I don't know. It's I can't really put my finger on it. I feel like TikTok allows you to be yourself more, but Twitter is like a lot of copy and paste, a lot of like just cap. I feel like a lot of people just be capped just to go viral sometimes.
I think I had artist from out here. His name's Code of the Friend. He said anything could be factual on Twitter, and what he meant by that is like Flo Milli could tweet today, like this is how you get monkeypox, right? And you'll say like whatever you say, you'll say this is how I got it, or this is how you get it, and people will actually believe it. There's no like fact check anymore. People just believe anything now.
Yeah, they definitely do. That's the scary part about social media, because you're like, and then like it's like this whole culture about like. It's just a lot of cap, a lot of lies on the internet, and it'll have you rethinking your whole life and your situation, because you'll just be like, damn, like this is really what's going on, but the whole time it's just people making fake ass narratives.
You know what? Perfect example, right?
Yeah.
Is I saw yesterday there was like this tweet from like a fake. You know, like they have like the pop base account, whatever it's called, but there was like a fake one, and it was like tweeted about like Lotto sampling Lollipop by Lil Wayne, and like Lil Wayne allegedly not clearing the sample, and then Lotto quoted it, and she was like, "What?" And then like the real pop base account was like, "This wasn't us."
Oh wow! See that's just a former example of how people would like dig and. I've seen so much fake news though, like it's actually crazy. Like, the weirdest thing I feel like I've seen the internet do is, like, fake people's death. Like, they'll, like, will try to, like, manifest a celebrity's death, like, and it'll be trending. And I'm like, what the hell is this? That is weird. Yeah. But, like, yeah, people will definitely, you never know. You got to, like, almost research everything to make sure it's not fake.
That is like, that is cap. But I'll never forgive the internet for what they did to DMX before DMX passed, because it was like 2 days before X passed.
Oh wow!
And like I forgot what Twitter account tweeted out, but they're like DMX has passed away, and then everybody was posting X passed, X passed, X passed, X passed.
See, his power in that.
And he didn't die until I think 3 days later, or something like that. But they lied, crazy. And like everybody was like writing reports on it, and then it was just like, no, the family had to come out and be like, no, he's not. He's still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's still alive. Like, yeah. The internet can be a crazy place, I will tell you that. Like, and what they don't realize is, like, majority of the time, it's the consumers that control it. Like, they're like, all they got to do is push a narrative and be like, all right, we gonna push this, whatever they want to believe, and then they'll make it a whole thing until it's proven that it's not real. Like, but yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen like tweets about yourself that were fake?
Yeah,
too?
all the time. Like,
do you like have those moments like, did I do that? Like, do you think about that?
No, like I actually had like a time where people thought I was kidnapped, and like they made a whole narrative like on the internet. It was like, Flo Milli's kidnapped.
I feel like I remember that too.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, wow. And people, I'm looking through the comments like, people really believe this. Like, this is how it works. Like, somebody just makes a lie and then they run with it, and then boom.
Imagine you wake up from like a 3-hour nap and it's like now there's rumors online that like you're kidnapped. You're like, wait a second.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, hold on, I was just sleeping for 3 hours. Now all of a sudden I'm kidnapped and something like.
That gotta be the worst feeling. And it always happened that way. Like when I'm asleep and I wake up and I'm like trending on Twitter, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's the worst. But yeah.
But I wanted to talk about like that Lotto interview because I loved it, right? I thought that was so dope that y'all did that sit down because I've seen the artist to artist one, not the artist to artist one, the actor to actors, which I think those are super tough, and I like how they started doing the artist to artist.
I didn't even know they had the actor one. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the people that did it, but I had watched a couple of them and they're really good. I think Hollywood Reporter did something like that. But but what y'all did was really cool, and I like that one of the first things that y'all had like talked about was like the internet putting you guys against each other, and that kind of goes into what we're saying, what we're talking about right now, where it's like the internet likes to create these false narratives, especially when it comes like to female rappers too. Right. They're like trying to just pit them against each other, even though. Whether you guys knew each other or you guys didn't, had conversations behind the internet or didn't, like, it's just weird how...
It's so weird. Oh, my gosh. And we're not the only ones that dealt with that. I feel like they do it to almost every, like, duo that's coming up. If you pay attention, every year or two, it's always a new artist. Like, let's use females, for example. It's always going to be, like, a couple female artists that are coming up. And what the internet does, and it's 9 times out of 10 kids or, like, young teens or whatever. And I feel like they just want to see, I guess people love drama and they like, you know, creating narratives. Like, it's more entertaining to see us fight than to see us like come together. So like I feel like that almost happens all the time just to kind of like test you. Like, you ever think about, like, for example, when you initiate into a game, you get jumped. That's how I look at it with the internet. They gonna kind of like mentally jump you to see like what the fuck can you handle? Like, are you gonna fold under the pressure? And that's really what it is. And I feel like if a lot of women like approached it the way we did, because I can count on a lot of times where, I can remember a lot of times where like it would be like a tweet like with both of us against each other or me and another female artist, and then like it's easy to feed into that if you got 2 big egos that really don't really care about unity or whatever. That's what the internet wants most of the time, is for those 2 people. And it happens sometimes. Because then somebody who probably feeding into that, they're like, no, I am better. I am the one, you know? Like, but really, in all reality, you win by coming together and showing them, nah, we don't have to fight. We don't have to, we could coexist and still be winning and it not be like a problem.
Right.
Like y'all created out of nowhere.
Yeah, or if they don't see you like in each other's comments like all the time, they're just like, oh, why isn't Flo in Lotto's comments, or vice versa? And it's just like,
even then, I so
what,
crazy.
What you want me in everybody's comments?
Right. like yeah, and then, even if you do comment, like you got those fan bases. Like everybody got a strong fan base to the point where like if they don't like, and I've seen this, like if they don't like somebody else, they'll attack them in my comments, or if their fan base don't like me, they'll attack me in their comments. So it's like, no matter what, like if they want, it's always gonna be those ones that's like negative for no reason at all. But, you know, that's just the internet. You gotta know what you signed up for.
Yeah.
And like, you gotta know that it comes with it. So.
Does it affect your mental health a lot? Like, do you kind of go through that too, or have you gone through that?
I have gone through that, like, especially when I first was starting to like get that attention, like it was just like, oh my God, like what the fuck? But I don't know, only the strong survive. That's all I could say. It's all about knowing who you are at the end of the day. Like you gotta know who you are and know that like 9 times out of 10, somebody's saying this because and once I've learned that people can only bring you down that are below you, I looked at it differently. Like I used to think, oh my God, like caring about what people think, but it's like, bro, like, if you're bringing me down, you're already below me. Like, and 9 times out of 10, you don't know me, and you're mad because I'm out here chasing my dreams, and you're not. Like, and it's an insult to people who don't have that heart to do that, because it's like they have to get on the internet, see you like being a boss, seeing you being an entrepreneur, doing all this boss ass shit that they are themselves scared to do. So I feel like a lot of the hate come from that, and you know, just people trying to get clout or fame off of a comment. Like, oh, how much attention can I get by saying the most unprovoked, craziest shit? Like,
right.
So it's just like you got to kind of look at the perspective, you know, everybody's coming from. Like, you got to know when it's good criticism and when it's just miserable people. Like, you got to know where your source is coming from. So once I learned that, I'm just like, how could I take what you said to offense, because you don't even respect yourself? So I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm happy with myself.
You good.
Yeah.
And plus, like, what I've noticed, I feel like, especially, like, just lately looking at comment section, most of the time, it don't even be, like, older people in the comment section. It be, like, kids. It's just all kids.
Yeah.
Just trolling.
They're the only ones that got time to do that shit.
Right.
So it's like everybody else is getting money, like, and doing other stuff. But, yeah, I think it is kids. And I'm not ashamed to say I used to be a troll, too. When I was in middle school. So that's how I know, like, how this shit works. Because I'm like, I can't lie. I remember, like, trolling celebrities when I was about a good 12, 13. But then it's like, now this shit comes full circle. You got to be careful because you never know where life will take you. And now I'm in that position. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, it's a different perspective.
Yeah, now it's kind of like it's not like the universe is like getting back at you for back then, but also like kind of is at the same time. It's like, oh, you wanted to troll celebrities when you was a kid? I bet. Guess what? You a celebrity now.
No, right.
Can you take it?
Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't even think about like when I was like 12, 13, just like even like playing like in like the Call of Duty lobbies. Like we like, you know what I'm saying? We would all be like, oh, it'd be like a group of 6 of us. We're like, all right, we're all gonna like come off mute. We're all just gonna say some wild shit like all at the same time. And like we're just gonna troll the whole lobby. And it's just like, but now it's like, now I find that shit so fucking annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, but I can't be mad at them at the same time because I'm like, I was like that too.
Yeah, for sure. So they'll see, and like over time, I don't see the internet going nowhere no time soon. So just let them, you know, deal with their shit.
Let them politic with themselves. When you were coming up too, because I noticed that you had like touched very briefly upon this, but your come up, especially like during like you know the 2020 era and like that pandemic era, it was really fast, right? And something you had like briefly touched on before was like kind of seeing how people around you change, right? And I feel like I've been seeing like that conversation been brought up more. How did you personally like handle dealing with that? Like seeing like, you know, obviously the money's coming in, the fame's coming, the social media stuff's going on, and then how did you start to deal with like everything, including people changing around you at the same time?
It's not a good trait, but I feel like isolation, because I had to like really isolate myself and process what was coming and happening to me, because like oftentimes people look at trauma as like a bad thing, but I feel like you can have good trauma too. And for me, becoming famous was traumatic because it happened so fast. It's like nothing is waiting on you. It's like everything that's happening, like it's all happening at one time. So it's like, for me, how did I deal with it? I kind of just like dealt with it. I don't know, like I just dealt with the things that I was faced, and I learned from those things. And I kind of, you know, made mistakes, and from those mistakes, I've learned how to move forward. Like, so it's just like any other person living their normal, regular life, and they reach a new level. Like, you just gotta learn from stuff you deal with. So, but I don't know. Like, I guess I changed like my boundaries. I had to like change as a person 100%, because you have to like be mentally right to be able to be in a position like this. So I definitely had to change my circle. I had to change a lot of things.
How do you keep yourself mentally right? Is like therapy a thing for you, or other vices?
Definitely. Like, I have a life coach.
Oh, dope.
And I have a therapist.
What would you think? What's like the difference between a life coach and a therapist?
A life coach, I feel like, is gonna like coach you through life and through situations and kind of give you that like like tough love, but I feel like a therapist is somebody you kind of talk to about healing trauma and like you actually work through those issues. But with a life coach, I feel like I work through those issues too, but it's just different, like they're specializing to different things.
Like the life coach is there to kind of like kick your ass back into gear.
Yeah.
And the therapist the therapist is more there to be like, well, it's okay that you went through that.
Right.
Like let's unpack.
It's a balance.
Let's unpack that some more. I feel like it's like a mom and a dad. It's like one of them like your mom's gonna be it's okay. Like let's unpack that. And your dad's gonna be like, so what you about to do about it?
Right. What you gonna do? You finna cry or you gonna get up?
You gonna go get this bread or you gonna what I'm saying? You wanna go to your room? Like what you really about to do? But I think that's important because like I'm glad that you're open about that because I think that slowly we're getting to a better space in hip hop where it's like okay to talk about the mental health stuff and trauma and like therapy and shit like that. Like it's becoming a little bit more open now.
I'm so glad because I feel like it's needed. Like we're not even realizing we're 10 years in. Well, to me, I'm 10 years into social media because I got my first social media account at 11 years old. So before that, it was riding bikes, riding motorcycles, like learning like regular kid shit. And then like this social media thing has like a toll that I didn't think it would have until I got older and I started to realize like, wow, like this is actually changing us as like a collective. Like we got to pay attention to what's happening. Like, we got a phone in our face 24/7. So I definitely.
What was your first social media? Oh yeah, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook's everybody's first social media.
Yeah, and then my mom got it, and then I just deleted it. She wanted my password and everything, so I was like, yeah, you can have it. Then Instagram came, and then that's when.
I was about to say, by the time your mom probably got on Facebook, you was like, I bet I'm already on to the next thing. I'm on to the next thing anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Facebook is like the wild, wild west nowadays.
Oh yeah, Facebook is definitely the hood for sure.
You said Facebook is.
That's when you want to see the entertainment. That's when you want to see some like crazy shit happen.
But I don't even know how to navigate Facebook no more. Like I go on, I went on there a couple days ago. I mean, I go on there to post for this, but like I actually like went on there to like go on there just to kind of like see what the fuck was going on. And I went there, I was like so confused. I was like, like what am I looking at? Like how do I navigate through this? Like how do I search? Like I mean, I know how to search stuff, but like you know what I'm saying? Like I had no idea what the hell was going on.
What's going on? Yeah, it's a bunch of chaos for real. I go in there when I want to be entertained, like when I'm like extremely bored and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go on Facebook.
What do you look at on Facebook?
It's like a bunch of shit. Like, well, first of all, my Facebook, I still have the same Facebook I had since middle school. So like all my old friends and like everybody that I like grew up around is still connected. So I still be seeing like people I went to high school with. Like, I don't know, it's just like I be seeing what goes around in my city, I guess. Just be like entertainment, crazy shit. But yeah.
Do you keep up with your friends from like all the high school stuff?
Nah, not really. I mean, I see them on that, but like, sometimes they like reach out to me, like on social media. I've had like
your reunion finna be crazy.
You said my what?
Your reunion finna be crazy.
Oh yeah, if they have one, like
they might have to have you perform too.
Yeah, that shit would be dope.
I gotta say, like, first of all, congrats on the new project, right?
Thank you.
I love the intro that you got.
Oh, Tiffany.
From Tiffany. The first thing I want to know is how the hell did that intro come along? Because I thought that was so fire that was able to happen.
Well, like I grew up watching Flavor of Love,
of course.
Like Tiffany Pollard was like that bitch to me, like still is, and it kind of happened organically. Like when I started doing skits and stuff, like I was like impersonating her, and then like.
With the video with Buddy too, right?
Yeah, with Buddy,
yeah. With Buddy, yep.
So like that kind of came from me just like growing up on reality TV and my love for it and stuff. So I ended up connecting to her through that. Like once that video went viral, like I can't remember how we connected, but we started talking on social media. And then over time, as I was like building up my album and stuff, like we came up with the idea to have her on it like along the way. So I reached out to her and she was like, yeah, she was on board with it.
That was easy?
Yeah.
Did she reach out after the Flavor of Love thing?
Oh yeah, all the time. Like, and she was telling me how proud she was of me and like how I'm just so dope and everything. Like, we definitely had like a heart to heart. Like, I was telling her how I used to almost get whoopings from watching her. Like, it was crazy.
Telling her you almost got whoopings from watching Flavor of Love. It's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like that's like super deeply personal.
Yeah.
And I feel like you got really excited and you just kind of jumped the gun. And you're like, I almost got like beat because I used to watch you on Flavor of Love, right?
No, for real. Like, my dad was not going for that. He was like, and I was faithfully watching it every week. I still be watching it.
You be watching the reruns?
Yeah.
How many times do you think you watched it back already?
Probably like, I don't even know. I lost count. Like, it'd be random times I would whip out my phone on YouTube and I just like be reading her lines like out. Cause she's just so funny to me. Like,
No, she's hilarious.
she's fucking hilarious.
Do you think this like series of projects you've been doing, like, are you gonna keep doing after? Like, I don't know what the whole series. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what you would call it. But the one thing is consistent, like, like, like,
Last year, like, no, I definitely want to keep like reinventing myself. I'm not really for like staying on the same thing. I like kind of doing different stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I might do something different.
This has kind of been like the phases you've been in.
Yeah,
with these two projects?
kind of just going with like me as an artist, growing as an artist, and what I like creatively. So it might be something different next year.
What do you like now?
Like as far as like themes or just like
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, break it down.
What do I like? I'm gonna have to come back to that. Yeah.
Okay, what did you like for this project then? Different from the first one. Like what was inspiring you this time around versus the last one, which was like 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what inspired me for this one was like I wanted to kind of show my versatility because I feel like so many people thought they kind of heard one version of me and they thought like, oh, that's all she can do. Like she's just this one. I didn't kind of want people labeling me as this certain type of rapper. So I was like I basically made it my mission to make sure that I tried something new, like with different types of beats, like pop, hip hop, like even R&B. I made sure like I sprinkled like a little bit of everything in this album because I wanted it to be a real album. I wanted people to feel like they were going on like a roller coaster. Like I didn't want it to seem like every song sounded alike. So, yeah.
I think you accomplished that too.
Thank you.
And I like how you had like Rico and Babyface, and like, kept it to that too. It was like it was calm because I feel like because I'm glad you said that you felt like people like were trying to have you like box you in as this one type of rapper because I definitely saw a lot of that online.
Yeah.
Especially at first, right? But that's just because I feel like people were just like so used to like TikTok flow Milli. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's like that going kind of bringing it back to that. That's like the one downside of that too. Because I feel like that's happening with Ice Spice here in New York. You know what I'm saying? Because like they trying to box her into one thing, but
one thing, and that's the thing. Like we can't control what's trendy in our generation.
Right.
Every generation has their time. Like in the '90s, they didn't even have social media. They was able. Like I feel like it's pros and cons to everything. Like they was able to have their fans even enjoy their shows without having a phone out. They was able to enjoy their exclusiveness. Like they weren't so accessible. But you know, like us, we're way more accessible. It's like we have to basically depend on our accessibility to like be able to like survive as an artist because it's like, oh, you're not trying to go live, you're not trying to show us what's in your life 24/7. So it's like that's the only downside I would say about it. But yeah, I definitely think that's lame how they try to like box artists like her in because like who's to say this is like the best time of her life right now. And then like she got to get on the internet and see like, oh, she's this and that. When like I said, it all goes back to like the miserableness of motherfuckers on the internet. When really like it's her being successful and accomplishing something great. You know, what are you doing? Sitting at home being a bum.
In your mama's basement.
Exactly.
And they don't know my sis is mad versatile. They just ain't heard her yet.
Period.
They don't know what she got coming. That's the thing. And that Bikini Bottom song go crazy too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, oh man, she got another one on her hands. I was like,
she's hard for sure.
They gon' eat this one up. But I'm proud of her. But that's like the thing is like I didn't like when they tried to do that with you because you could already tell that you was like nice and you had this versatility to you already. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, is like I'm glad that you put this album out and you did what you did with this project because it was really able to show that you had that
versatility. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm glad too. I feel like, you know, it just basically allows you not to be boxed in. So I definitely, you know, I'm gonna keep doing that in different ways, like as far as like being different. whatever that consists of, but also staying true to myself.
Right. And then you'll come back next time and you'll tell me what you actually liked right now.
Right.
And what was inspiring you right now.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? What are you listening to right now? Are you one of the type of artists that like only likes to really like listen to like their music or?
Oh, definitely not. I hate listening to my music.
Really?
Like, I don't hate listening to it. Let me not say that because Jenna just
But you
gave
heard
me
it
the
so many
death
times.
stare.
Look at her. She's shaking her head.
No, but like,
She didn't mean it.
I definitely did not mean that. But I like to listen to other people's music. Like, I don't even know how to like put it into like because I don't want to say like SoundCloud, but it's a certain type of sound that I really like.
Okay.
It's like a wavy sound. I can't really put my finger on it. But like, I just discovered Yeet. I think he's fire. I'm listening to his shit.
Yep.
A
Why
lot
are you
of
laughing?
You don't like it?
Every time we bring, no, we love Yeet. No, we love Yeet. We love Yeet. But every time somebody brings up Yeet, he chuckles a little bit. I'm like,
But no, I like him. My playlist is so like extremely versatile. Like, I could pull it out right now, but
go ahead, do it.
all right, but let's see.
We chilling. We just having a conversation. Why not? Huh? By 4:40? I bet.
Let's see. I'm gonna just go through the top 3. Okay, I got Lil Baby shit in here.
Okay.
Definitely got Bryson Tiller, Young Nudie, YSL, of course.
Of course.
Family.
Yep. Free the guys.
Yeah. Future, Janae Aiko, Rico Nasty. It's a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
I like that you like Yeet though, because I feel like that SoundCloud sound is what's coming next too. I feel like that's gonna be like well, I mean, he's already doing like streams like crazy, but that's what's really next too.
Yeah, for sure.
I also peeped that you said you in your villain era, right?
You saw my Twitter.
Right. First of all, me too. Come on.
Period.
I'm in my villain era.
It's that time, man.
Yep.
Like, it's done. Like, we're done giving fucks anymore. We never gave a fuck anyway.
But why are you in your villain era?
I feel like, just being soft is just not, maybe later in life, but right now I feel like I'm so tunnel vision right now. Like, I don't need any space for vulnerability. Like, I just want to be in my bag, like, learning new things, focusing on myself, kind of just not giving a fuck, not being so accessible and nice or anything. Yeah.
As you should. As you should. Villain era.
Villain era. They know
I want to see more of the villain era on the next album too.
Say less. You got it.
I peeped Trina. Trina also showed you a lot of love recently too.
I love Trina.
That was crazy. I thought that was fire. That
Yeah.
like she said that like you were her favorite, something like
Yeah,
that.
she lit. I love Trina so much. Like, been listening to her like since a kid. So it's actually cool because my mom used to listen to Trina growing up. So like to have the same people you grew up listening to like give you your flowers and stuff is dope.
Nelly Furtado too.
Love her. She's
Crazy.
goated.
It's so dope seeing this reception for this project too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like bringing that back to like
Yeah.
wanting to do other shit, and that now you're kind of getting that reception like this
For
too
sure.
from all these people that you used to listen to. How's your mom feel about when she hears like people that she listened to?
She just be like, oh no, she be happy. She be excited. They be shocked, my whole family. Like every time I tell them something like, oh, I ran into this person or I met this person or this person said they love me. Like they just be shocked and proud for real. But yeah.
That's fire. How's tour going?
Tour is going great. Tour is
Why did you say it like that?
because, like every day, it's my first tour, so I'm getting adjusted, but it's just, it's cool.
It's the steps.
It's the steps.
Because you're gonna go from this to arenas, and then it's like you can't. And then it's really every
going
day.
back. This the time I feel like I need to just like kind of accept and just like I ain't even hit y'all shit, but yeah, I want to like accept this time because I know it's not gonna ever be this calm again.
Right after this it's only up. What's been your favorite and least favorite part of this whole touring situation so far? Sound check.
My least favorite.
Be careful what you say. She's giving you the death eyes.
It's not even about her. It's about like just Jenna just know I'm honest. That's what. Okay. Stream the album. But no, my least favorite would just be like, probably not getting sleep sometimes. Or enough sleep. I would say that. But other than that, like, I'm enjoying it. Like, I love seeing the reactions on my fans' face.
Yeah.
Like, actually being able to connect with them and, like, hop in the crowd and, like, vibe with them. That's my favorite part. So, yeah.
What festival did you do this past summer?
I went to Europe.
Did you Made in America?
Yeah.
You did. That's where I saw her at then. Okay, yeah. I caught you at Made in America.
Yeah, I did.
Bodied that shit.
Yeah, that shit was lit.
Where
was that?
Philly.
Philly. Oh, okay.
I like you. I fuck with you. She said, say thank you. She got you on your manners too. She G-checking you for your manners also.
She always be G-checking me.
She said it's all love. I saw you said you were talking about like modeling too on Twitter too. Mm-hmm. You think you will get more into that?
Yeah,
Or is that something you want to get more into?
I used to be a model when I was like 15, but then I've always, like, everything I'm doing now, I always kind of did when I was a child, just not on this level. So, but yeah, I definitely want to continue doing modeling and, like, everything else. I want to be, like, dipped into a lot of things, not just one thing.
We're going to get you in your acting bag, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it was actually funny, because I was actually thinking about this before. Like, I actually started watching, like, that Issa Rae show, the rap shit show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Flo Milli would be hilarious on this. Like, and like your character, like I was picturing her character because I was doing your notes for this interview while watching it, right? And I'm like, yo, I could see you being on the show because they have like artists. There was another artist who I had here not too long ago that appeared on the show, but she was in the later episode. She signed to Issa, but I was like, damn, like I think Flo would kill this. Cause I don't know, I feel like you have the personality for it too.
Thank you. Yeah, like I definitely feel like I would eat like a role like in a show or a movie. Cause like when I was younger, I used to be in like plays and all that shit like from kid. Like I was in the drama club and all that shit. And then when I got in middle school, I got a Snapchat. And I used to like steal my grandmother's wigs and like have like these whole like chronicles and like people would be waiting on the shit like every day after school. So I definitely feel like I could like do that because I've been doing it my whole life.
Just say you've done it all. Just say you did modeling, you did the music,
all.
you've done the acting. You already fake done the acting.
He said I fake done it. I'm crying.
Stealing your grandma's wigs is kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it was nothing to do in Alabama. Like I was bored, so I had to make something out of nothing.
Right. And you did that. You made something out of nothing. Tour going on right now. Stream the album. You still here, ho? Well, look, I got to get you out of here because they both look. Now she's looking at me too. She's looking at me like, get her the fuck out of here. We got to go. You got sound check. We're going to actually get you the sound check today.
Okay, bet.
But it's been a pleasure having you here. For real, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
It's been dope seeing you grow from TikTok and everything to where you are now. And the new album is incredible. Mm-hmm. But before we get out of here, anything you want to let your fans know, where they can follow you at, all that good stuff, this camera right here.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Flo Milli Shit, and you can follow me on Twitter at _Flo Milli. And what I have to say is follow your dreams. Never make a plan B because that's not believing in your plan A. Stay great. Boom. Stream the album, You Still Here Ho.
You Still Here Ho, out now. Go stream that. Go follow her. Go show her some love. Go show her some support. Love and support is free. But y'all already knew that. Till next time, Flo Milli on the radar. We out. Boom.